One of the things that comes across so much in conversations right now is that in this virtual world that we're all playing in and living through, the thing that people are missing so much is that human interaction, that social engagement. And one of the things that I see organizations very often missing out on is doing real work to actually try and fill that gap. And I think the sense is that that's always somebody else's job, or it's up to the individual, or it's up to their friends, or it's up to their colleagues. But one of the things that we do know for sure and for certain is that, people leave managers, not organizations. I mean, that's been bandied around for a long time. And actually, for some period of time, I didn't think it was true. But research actually demonstrates that it is true, that people do leave managers. So, managers and leaders have a huge part to play in the whole area of engagement. And particularly in the current environment, one of the things and the complaints that I hear from so many people is that we're just going wall to wall with Zoom meetings and WebExes and Teams and just wall to wall meetings. And we're going from one to the other, to the other, to the other. And as a consequence of that, there isn't actually that kind of conversation that you'd have in the corridor or at the proverbial water cooler or, in the lift, whatever it might be. There isn't that social engagement because everybody is working virtually. So leaders have got to be very conscious of that. And leaders have got to be really clear about what their role is in ensuring that there is that human engagement and that there are events and opportunities, and it can be just a virtual cup of coffee, but whatever it might be, to be really clear that it's the responsibility of the leaders to ensure that that is taking place. And I want to refer you to a podcast that I just published with Pete Rawlinson from WorkVivo, an organization that has built a platform that is really helping organizations to really connect and engage with each other at a very meaningful way. And I was certainly, there's a link to it here, and I would certainly encourage you to go and listen to that. But I think the message for me today is that that's what people are missing, that engagement. That's what they're missing in this virtual world. And while we can't replicate it, we still have a responsibility as leaders to do what we can to ensure that we're doing it the best way that we can. And that is up to us, and we've got to find a way to do that. So I really do encourage you today, as a leader of people, to really go and search out opportunities, real opportunities, and not just kind of when you think of it, but actually to schedule it and to make it happen for your team, because that's what your team is missing. And in this virtual world where, people now have got the opportunity more than ever to find roles in this virtual world because there's no geographical boundaries, then, holding on to your good people is becoming a bigger and bigger challenge. And as we all know, it's always the good people who are marketable quicker than anybody else. So I really, really encourage you, plug that gap, make sure it's happening and do something about it today. Talk real soon.